Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is Enzo and today we are doing a tutorial on version 24 of the game. So in this video, I'm going to go through all the different changes you need to know about, specifically how you apply them in the game. You've probably seen some videos from other YouTubers just going over the patch notes, and there's actually changes that aren't in the patch notes. So to get things started, at the beginning of the game, I'd say your expansion strategy has probably changed. If you notice, at least my impression is, bots seem to be expanding quicker, and I think that means that you really need to push the agenda with how you're expanding. I tend to use 30% spaced out. You could probably do 20%. I imagine there's some people who know the code and they probably think, oh, the smaller you send out, the more regular, it's just more efficient or whatever. Not sure, but it works for me. So at the start of the game, typically, if you've seen some of the other tutorials, you know that OpenFront is really city-centric. That like cities and population troops are what wins games. But this update has changed a really key thing. Some of the most important things you got to do at the start is you got to try to get a port. So that kind of relates to a lot of your positioning on the map. Now, you don't have to start right on a river or right on the coastline, but if you go for a landlocked area, like what would be the worst place on this map to spawn? Like maybe you could spawn here, and if you didn't get anything, you're going to be so far behind. Like, it's going to be ridiculous. So what I would say in most multiplayer games, you probably want to go port first. Now, besides this, we kind of know the standard stuff with opening. You go for Greenland, you go for annexations, but there's actually, I think, a new strategy or a new factor you have to consider with how you're taking bots at the start. So you see Zulu Assembly here. They did a push and their troops go down. And if you don't know, how attack speed works in OpenFront is it's related to how many troops the other player has. What you can do is you can wait for bots to attack, like Chaldean Sisterhood here, and you can go with a faster speed push. Clearly, annexation and Greenland are just going to be easier, and you're not necessarily going to just know everything every time, but I have an impression that this is adding another level to the game. So I'm going to go for this just because I want the annexation, and we're going to get out this early port just to show you what this is going to do. The one kind of caveat I'd say with the early port is it's very much dependent on other people getting early ports. Like how early your port is, you can only trade if someone else has it. So you can already see it's already putting out these trade ships. And if there were more ports on the map, we probably would get more. You still want to do cities quick because what I'll tell you is what wins games, it's territory, and I don't know about cities. There's some kind of caveats with that I don't think everyone really knows because I've done some testing with them. But you see, here's this trade. Let me show you how much you get with this. So first trade ship goes in. That's 93K. The type of gold you're getting at the start of games is so crucial. So we're going to keep on expanding at the start. Like I said, the other things you want to consider, you can probably knock down your attack level even more. You can look for when bots are pushing and try to get better opportunities. Granted, you're not going to be able to control it like this Almoravid Patriarchy here. It doesn't make sense to push them because I'm just going to annex them for free. And do you see how much trade is coming out? The other thing I can say with kind of different strategies is I think we need to test it more. But I've got an impression that there's going to be some strat with like an early warship that you can steal like all these other people's trade. The other thing I'd tell you too is that if you're playing a game with early trade, if you can pin someone down and you get out their port, like if they went for early port, they're probably just cooked. So besides this, the other things that I think you really need to know about, there's some changes to SAMs. SAMs you've probably seen in games that they seem like they're way worse. We can get one up. I'll actually put one up right here. We're probably, I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. We probably will be able to get some bots to push on us. But what's changed to SAMs is one, it's actually kind of a bomb change that makes them different, is that bombs now go faster. So the effective range of SAMs is no longer as good because what you can see happen is that other bots or players, they'll send out a missile on you and the launcher, the time that it takes to hit the bomb, it's still the same, but the bomb's traveling faster. So you can get in hydros a lot quicker to these type of areas. In terms of kind of how I'd use them in games, let's see if we can piss off the Thessalonia bot and get them to bomb us whenever they get up the gold and such. How I'd use them is I'd place them in kind of more central parts of your territory, kind of to cover like areas where you can get hit with hydros. I'd say one's worth it. When you get into more than that, It's kind of like a thing that if you're thinking you're going to be bombed and your kind of risk in the game is more so from bombing. Like, I see a lot of small players, like, they sometimes, like, spam the SAM launchers, and it makes no sense. Because, like, their risk, it's not about being hit by a bomb. It's about having their entire base stolen. So, let's show you one other thing, too. Let's try to piss off another nation. Let's blow up Kilkiss's, basically, city right here. So we just launched this bomb, and what you're going to see is this bomb goes, like, basically, I don't know, it's, like, transparent. And the idea is this is in the atmosphere. So it's, like, intercontinental ballistic missile, and it can't be targeted by SAMs at those points. So what this means is you can potentially lob in, like, hydros and other things, like, over the whole map, and you don't have to worry about the SAMs until the end. What I've noticed is there's a little part at the start where it's still, like, in the atmosphere that you can hit it with a SAM. So, like, for example, let's just show you this. Let's put up a SAM right here, and then we're going to piss off Thessalonica one more time with another bomb, and our missile silo should just shoot this down. So, okay. So let's wait for it to get up. It takes a little bit of time. I'll also explain the level stuff too, as well as the betrayal thing. The betrayal thing is probably the most important piece of information you need to know for this update. Betrayals on this version of the game are absolutely insane. Someone told me there's like a 40% increase in, in basically how quickly land gets taken, and it very well could change. So, like, stay tuned to my channel. But if you betray as, like, a smaller nation, I would kind of expect to just disappear. I think there's going to be changes to it, but the kind of thing with betrayals is you got to be really thinking about who can attack me at a certain point in time, how much risk do I have, and the other thing I would tell you that I don't think a lot of new players necessarily know about, let's also just take this, is that one way that you can counter a betrayal, like if you've betrayed someone and you're trying to survive, is if you attack another bot in open front, like if you attack another nation, and yeah, the Thessalonica is not going to bomb us for whatever reason, I don't know why. If you attack another nation, the attacks just cancel out. So let's try to piss off Kilkiss a little bit. And what that means is that, so while with Betrayal, you're going to lose less land if you're going to lose more land if someone pushes you. If you push back 1 for 1, it's not going to do anything. But the challenge is, if you're surrounded by lots of people, you're surrounded by wolves, they'll probably just go for you. And I think most of us already know that in open front, that if you betray someone who's already betrayed, it doesn't, you don't get the betrayal debuff. So definitely be careful about that. Besides all this, the thing that I tell you, let's just do this really quick, and let's betray Kilkiss, just so hopefully they fight us. The new meta is really hydrogen bomb centric. So how I like to use hydrogen bombs is typically I like to get up like missile silos close to people's borders, especially in kind of like mid or late game. And I like to kind of time my attack in kind of like a shock and awe thing. I did a video on hydrogen maxing, and that's kind of how I was winning games. I basically, if I did betray, which I had to be really conscious about how much risk I had, I put up like missile silos close to the border. I scouted around for SAMs. I did a bomb, which you can see how much damage it does. And then I just kind of like rushed in and basically cooked people. So I think that's going to be the strat on this version for now. And the main reason for that is because MIRVs are freaking terrible on this version of OpenFront. Like, they're incredibly bad. So you can see, let's just show you this. How much do they cost? They cost 35 million. Okay, and finally, we have this bot pushing us. So you can see this push in the bottom right. If you push back, like, with this 2%, it just cancels out. So that's how I would stop. That's how I would stop trader stuff. You just got to consider that where you are on your growth curve, you might go way down. So there's really, really big risks on that. And it actually, okay, finally, we get a bomb coming in. Where is even their bomb going? I don't even see it. Okay, so it's going right there. You see it enters back in. Some of these bots have now been programmed to launch better bombs. And we'll show you a MIRV. Let me show you what a MIRV does. They're absolutely terrible. So in the past, if you saw my video on 1,000, like, can 1,250 SAMs stop a MIRV? You learned that the MIRVs, they do 99% population damage, and there's kind of some various things with how much damage they do to territory based on how much you have. But let's get rid of Thessalonica really quick. So let's take out this. Let's get all of their 3 mil gold, and let's just MIRV Mount Athos. So here goes the MIRV. If you don't know, one of the tricks that you should know is, like, it seems like they hit quicker from the top of the map. You also don't get Betray on launch with MIRVs, which is kind of weird. I feel like that needs to change. And here goes in the MIRV. And it basically, like, Swiss cheeses people's base. So 285k. I think this is a little biased. It did not take them down that low. They just attacked at the exact same time that the MIRV came in. So let's go take this out. Hopefully we can get another MIRV. But MIRVs are not doing that much pop damage in this game. They're not doing that much. That was kind of a terrible example. I would even say that, like, bunkering your base now, like, if you learned kind of some of my other videos about, like, these things about, okay, you need, like, 5 SAMs in the same area, that will just, like, protect something. I don't think that works anymore. Besides this, if you're curious about how levels work, you just need to put 2 things right next to each other. With cities, it's the same thing as just stacking 2. With missile silos, it's just like having 2 missile silos there. So you're just gonna have, like, the same type of thing as 2 silos. Like, if I wanted to go launch 2 bombs on someone, oh, and you're gonna see this. This is what Trader debuff does. So I'm gonna do a small attack. Let's do, like, 200k, and Poligros is gone. This is why you don't betray. Like, I say it as a joke, but, like, the new rule of OpenFront.io is that you can never betray. So let's show you the missile silos. Let's let that get up. And we can command click out 2 hydrogen bombs right here. So let's get this lined up. And hydrogen, oh my god, I already clicked on them. So hydrogen, let's cancel this just so that goes in. Oh, we had different angles. Let me show you, let's show you right here. I keep on finding that happen with control click. So bomb. You see there's just 2 of them coming straight out from there. That's how that works. In terms of missile silos or SAM sites, what the stack does, it's the kind of same thing. That it's basically, let's let that get built. Let's find our other SAM. It's basically just having 2 SAMs. It's kind of not the best plan, I think, because this can just be outranged by a hydrogen, like, really, really easily. I can say in the games, I think there's gonna be, as the meta evolves, there's gonna be some more stuff with, like, bomb spam in games that I think you can do a lot of suppressing fire type of things and just totally cook other players. Besides this, ports, if you're curious about how this works and you're interested in, like, level maxing or something like that, there's been a limit to how many trade ships are in the game, and the more ports you have, it's basically just gonna increase the amount of gold you get. So all these ports right here, from everything I understand, I don't know if there's an advantage to it. And I would say I'd really caution you about trying to stack stuff. I keep on seeing, like, new players in games, they just, like, they surround, like, a level 20 city with this. If you can spread out things so all your eggs aren't in one basket, I think that's probably the better play. And defense posts at this point in time, they don't stack. I've heard that they might want to try to make them so you can upgrade them. I'm kind of sketched because I think defense posts are actually, like, really, really good, and it could be really OP. So that's basically the main things you need to think about with the update. Go for early ports. I would say some SAMs strategically and kind of bigger clusters make sense. I'd be very cautious about level stuff. Don't betray. And besides that, yeah. Oh, there's one other thing. Boats. We're probably not going to be able to see it, but with warships in the past, if you had 2 warships fighting, and we actually might be able to get this to work. If you had 2 warships fighting, they would not shoot down transport ships. But now, if you do that, if they are fighting, they will just gun down transports. So what that means in practice is that you have to have a lot more control across water areas. So even though, like, small island nations can get really, really messed up from, like, atom bombs and stuff, like, I would say a lot of the island stuff is really, really tough now with just more gold on the map. And you're going to see, this is just going to get shot down. In the past, it would have never been shot down because I had covering fire. You can kind of protect areas with warships so that people can't cross. So anyways, that's been the update. Let me know if you have any questions. Hope this has been helpful. And I will see y'all in the next vid or on the battlefield. So take care. Bye-bye.